House Democrats, partnered with our allies throughout America, is to wage the fight to stay in the Coliseum.
To stay in the Coliseum with your broadaxe to fight the slaves and the lions. That is the Democrat leader in the House of Representatives. He's a communist, America-hating, radical extremist. His name is Hakeem. Hakeem. Not on our side at all. Boy, is he not on our side. That is a fact. We're going to have to get back to Hakeem in just a moment, because he's out there smearing and slandering good people. Hakeem Sekou Jeffries. He's all Africaned up and everything. Hakeem Sekou. S-E-K-O-U. Hakeem Sekou Jeffries. He's a Democrat politician. He's the minority leader in the House of Representatives. He's a very bitter racist, anti-Semitic, anti-American Democrat. So perfectly mainstream, regular kind of Democrat person. And the senior member of the Democrat Party in the House of Representatives. Now, he got his bachelor's degree at Binghamton University in New York. Is that, Jasmine, is that a 4-year school? At Binghamton University? I'm not sure. Binghamton University. I don't think it is. I think it might be one of those community colleges. I'm not sure. And then he went to the Georgetown University because, you got to be a member of the landed gentry and the elite ruling class, go to exclusive universities. Georgetown University, where he got his master's in public policy, right? That's real good. Then he went back to New York University to get a law degree at NYU. And he's a radical. He's Hakeem Sekou Jeffries. And he's been in Congress since 2013. He's the Democrat leader. He's kind of a black guy, and he thinks and speaks and behaves as a criminal. Thinks and speaks and behaves. But that's just because he's a Democrat, I think. They're pretty awful people. Now, he was talking to news media people. And a news media person tried to ask Hakeem Jeffries a question about Dr. Mehmet Oz. Now, Dr. Mehmet Oz, let's keep in mind, just a little refresher on Dr. Mehmet Oz. Mehmet Oz, his parents immigrated to the United States from Turkey, the country of Turkey, not the big bird, but the country. And they raised him here in the United States of America because they wanted to move to the United States of America to become Americans and all that good stuff. Now, Dr. Mehmet Oz has a better academic career, let's say, than Hakeem Sekou Jeffries. Mehmet Oz went to the Harvard University, perhaps you've heard of it, where he got his bachelor's degree. Then he moved on to another Ivy League university, the University of Pennsylvania. And while at the University of Pennsylvania, not wanting to be an underachiever, he got his MD. He became a medical doctor. Got his MD at the Ivy League institution after getting his BA at the Ivy League institution of Harvard University. He got his MD as a medical doctor at the Ivy League institution, the University of Pennsylvania. But that wasn't enough, because while he was there getting his medical degree, he also got his master's in business administration also at the University of Pennsylvania, right, at the Wharton School. Because it's like, I'm not going to school enough. I'm just getting my medical degree at the University of Pennsylvania Ivy League Medical School. I might as well go ahead and also get my MBA, my master's in business administration, from the Donald Trump got his business degree there as well. University of Pennsylvania at the Wharton School, all right? So he did that, and then he started corporations. He became a surgeon, a heart surgeon, and a thoracic surgeon, your entire torso. And he became professor emeritus of surgery because at the University of Pennsylvania, because he's so great and they love him so much that he became professor of surgery at Columbia University, another Ivy League school. Barack Hussein Obama went there. At Columbia University, retiring as Professor Emeritus in 2018, right? Okay, isn't that amazing? Now, because lefties are there in 2022, when Dr. Oz, he had already had his own television show and he's been in all kinds of walks. He invented medical devices that have served him very well. But in May of 2022, Columbia University cut ties with Mehmet Oz and removed his presence from their website. That's because they're communists and they love Barack Obama, who never operated on anybody's heart. And it's funny, we were talking about this, and I've got a lot of people that I talk to out there, and my buddy Marty, he texted me, and he's told me this before, actually, Dr. Mehmet Oz saved my father's life twice. So Hakeem can expletive delete it, just like that text from my friend Marty. And so really, tell me about that. He said, well, Dr. Mehmet Oz performed 2 open-heart surgeries on my father, my friend Marty said, and saved his life twice. And again, New York friend Marty, and he became the Professor Emeritus of surgery at Columbia University. Isn't that amazing? And then they cut ties with him because they found out that he wasn't a hardcore Democrat leftist. Isn't that amazing? So there's Dr. Mehmet Oz. And again, he is just showered with awards for everything he's ever done. Again, he's invented, designed new medical devices, which Hakeem Jeffries has never done. And he is quite amazing. Then he ran for Senate, the Democrats in Pennsylvania. The Democrats stole it from him and put John Fetterman in instead, and they demonized him and vilified him. Now, yesterday, the leading Democrat in the House of Representatives, Hakeem Sekou Jeffries, he was asked a question about Dr. Mehmet Oz, and he is a snide, sneering, petulant, self-righteous, misguided 14-year-old, at least in the way that he responded to this question, asked a question about Mehmet Oz, and he's, well, who? Oh, I don't know who that is. And he's behaving like a teenager.
So Dr. Oz said that millions...
Who?
Dr. Oz.
Oh, ha, ha,
there
ha.
are millions of phantom enrollees under the ACA. Is that being looked at as it makes it so that people that are on the ACA are paying more, it's inflating the numbers?
That's like the most random way to start a question on a serious topic.
Well, the way I asked the question is not necessarily pertinent, but now Mehmet Oz is a senior U.S. government official. He is the administrator at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which they naturally abbreviate to CMS, but the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and he is the administrator. It's an administration, and he's in charge of that. So the leading Democrat in the House of Representatives was asked a question about the administrator at the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and he's, so who? Oh, I don't know who that is. We're too stupid to be a member of that. If I were the reporter asking the question, maybe you're too stupid to ask. Maybe some idiot standing behind you can know something about the U.S. government that you allegedly serve. Isn't that amazing? So who? Who's that? And just amazing. Now, he's unqualified to hold any position. He's a joke. So listen to him as he smears and slanders the Professor Emeritus of Heart Surgery from the Ivy League institution where he was Professor Emeritus, where he invented new medical devices. And he's obviously an extraordinary person, an immigrant to the United States as a small child with his parents. And here is Hakeem Sekou Jeffries smearing a man much better than himself.
Nobody who's serious in this country takes Dr. Oz seriously. No one. And, I mean, it's shocking that the guy even was confirmed. I'm not going to respond to any comments from randos like Dr. Oz, who is woefully unqualified to be in whatever position he holds in the administration. He's a joke.
Now, I don't have a lot of experience with this, but I believe that the average street prostitute has more integrity than does Hakeem Sekou Jeffries. I'm sorry, he's a joke? Nobody takes him seriously. He's not qualified to hold any position. And what is your city college again? I mock him because I'm a city college guy myself. And isn't that amazing? Just the smear, the slander. Now, Dr. Mehmet Oz was invited to be as a senior government official on the Fox News channel yesterday, and the anchorman, John Roberts, said, well, Dr. Oz, you're on our show, and he said, we've known each other for 30 years because Dr. Oz has been in the news for 30 years. I don't think John Roberts is a heart surgeon or a professor emeritus of heart surgery, but seems to be a good journalist. And he said, we've known each other for 30 years, and here's what Hakeem Jeffries said about you. How do you respond to that, Dr. Mehmet Oz?
Jeffries panicked. You know, he didn't understand the message. That's an important one. So he tried to attack the messenger with an ad hominem approach. But, you know, that's not how you deal with the challenges that 24 million people are facing now, because the Democratic Party has not been able to really put forward a program that could work.
A program, a plan, and they shut the government down, and they need $1 trillion to bail out Obamacare again, and all of this. And you notice how he doesn't resort to ad hominems and call them names like street prostitute and lion Sacagawea and all these things. Dr. Mehmet Oz.
What I don't want folks to walk away from this interaction believing is the Democratic Party actually has a strategy when it comes to the fraud, waste, and abuse in Obamacare. They don't. And their desire to just insist on putting more money into it, or they're going to shut the government down, is a woefully misinformed approach.
So there you have a serious, intelligent person, a professor emeritus of thoracic surgery, a world-renowned heart surgeon, a successful television show host, national television show, a candidate who should have won a Senate seat, and now he's the head of Medicare and Medicaid services. And the Democrat leader in the House of Representatives is a clown in a burning clown car who would burn this country to the ground for another BMW convertible. This guy is the bad guy, and Mehmet Oz was never the bad guy in any of this. These people. Can I just say, these people? And this story, the reason I played that, is not about Mehmet Oz. It's about Hakeem Jeffries. It's about Hakeem Jeffries being a child with a little tiny teenager brain who is not up to the task of being the Democrat leader in the House of Representatives. These guys are not good guys. They're not good people. Their women are not good guys either. Some of their women are guys, but they're not good guys. Some of their the men are women and their guys are, you know the rest. Isn't that ridiculous? Did you know that a recent study revealed that just 1 year after getting an abortion, women were 50% more likely to need psychiatric treatment, and the same women, 87% more likely to experience personality disorders or behavioral disorders? That's what the Democrats call women's health. In reality, it's trauma. But at preborn, women find a real kind of care, the kind that heals. When a woman walks into a preborn clinic, one of their network of clinics across the country, the great people at preborn welcome the woman with open arms, and they help her to see her baby through an ultrasound, and then she's offered hopeful choices without the Democrat menu of choices. If she chooses life, which is her option after seeing her ultrasound of her child, preborn continues working with her for up to 2 years, providing maternity clothing and diapers and counseling and explaining how to be the mother of a newborn and a whole lot more. Preborn, the good people at preborn, they help to care for the whole woman and for the child, the precious baby growing inside of her. As you think about your year-end giving, your contributions, your charitable offerings at the end of the year, consider the greatest investment you could ever make, the gift of life. All you have to do is dial pound 250, and when prompted, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, the keyword is baby, or go to Al Gore's Amazing Internet And guess where you go there? You go to preborn.com/plant. That's me, Plante. Preborn.com/plant. All of your gifts are, of course, tax deductible, and Preborn is a 5-star rated charity. Isn't that great? Yeah, these Democrats. What is the matter with these people? I'm sorry, and this is what they do to everyone. They have the brains of children. Children who are going to grow up to be dumb, corrupt adults.
Nobody takes Dr. Oz seriously. It's shocking that the guy even was confirmed. Randos like Dr. Oz, woefully unqualified to be in whatever position he holds. He's a joke.
Ah, yes, Hakeem Sekou Jeffries. He may end in a suicide vest self-detonation. He's not on the side of civilization. The Republicans in the House are trying to reopen the government now, and the Democrats are looking for ways to obstruct that because of their criminal instincts, which are so ubiquitous and everyone knows so well. Isn't that amazing? But the Republicans are trying to have a vote in the House of Representatives. They say that the vote may take place, they say, starting at 5 o'clock. And when you say starting at it, it should only take a couple of minutes to have the vote. But the Democrat Party is going to pull fire alarms, as they have a history of doing, and they are the bad guys everywhere you go. They're just the bad guys. They're not on our side. Do we have time to go to a? Let's go quickly to a phone call. Let's go to Casey calling from the great state of North Dakota. Casey, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
The top of the morning to you, Chris.
Hey, Casey.
Yes.
Welcome.
North Dakota.
Beautiful.
It's way up there. I live you'd like this, I live just south of Lake Sacagawea.
Do you really?
I do.
Have you ever gone there just to lay down?
It's one of the world's largest man-made lakes. It's held back by the largest earthen dam.
I love it. That is great. That is why I'm really glad you shared that. I think that's great. I'm going right to my Google Earth.
Every time.
Now, I'm about to run out of... I'm a lion Sacagawea.
Last night, the Aurora Borealis, I looked up, it was red, and I said, oh, it looks like a wed woes. How romantic.
That is beautiful. That's, Mel Brooks lives, the king of comedy in the 20th century. So great. And that was Lily Von Stoop, of course, Wed Woes. Yes, and then when he brought Rose, How Ordinary, and she threw it away. Lily Von Stoop. Lake Sacagawea. I love it. That was great. I'm sorry, Casey, that I ran out the clock on you. I apologize. But I'm going to find Lake Sacagawea on my Google Earth. I promise you that. And he's doing Lily Von Stoop, Wed Woes. Too great. From Blazing Saddles. Great stuff. The great Mel Brooks. All right, let's, speaking of people that are kind of comedy, man, we, did we use number 11, Michael? Number 11? That's Hakeem talking about how we're going after them. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries, now that he's attacking Dr. Mehmet Oz, who's 10 times the man that Hakeem Jeffries will ever be, a charlatan, a fraud, a slime ball, smearing people so much better than himself. Hakeem Jeffries sitting down with his pal Wolf Blitzer, getting the hot oil rub down. And, the Democrats shut the government down. They voted 15 times to keep the government shut down. And the Republicans are trying to open it today. And CNN is nervously saying the voting will start at 5 p.m. in the 5 p.m. hour Eastern time. And that when they say start, they mean that the Democrats may firebomb it or pull the fire alarms or make stuff up to try to obstruct progress in the name of being progressives, of course, right? But Hakeem Jeffries on with Wolf Blitzer yesterday, and the He's promising to try to shut down any vote in the House, just like the Democrats did for weeks and weeks and weeks on end in the Senate.
House Democrats will strongly oppose any legislation that does not decisively address the Republican health care crisis. We want to reopen the government.
Lion
we'll continue to
Sacagawea.
stand by our hardworking federal employees and civil servants, but we have a responsibility to make sure that we extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Now, wait, the Republican health care crisis? You street prostitute. You, honestly, the health care crisis is entirely on Obama and Democrats and Obamacare with your fake, gigantic, epic, historic lie that you used to sell Obamacare to the American people. Oh, it's going to be so much better. And you made everything 4 times as expensive, less available, forced people to flee the medical profession, doctors and other medical professionals being forced to flee the medical profession because of what you guys did. Just amazing. Just appalling. And you guys, and he sits there, and Wolf Blitzer is nodding and looking like he's got a furrowed brow. And it's like, yeah, that Republican health care crisis, because they're not giving another $1.5 trillion to bail out Obamacare again, which was sold on a lie so giant, so gigantic, even by Washington standards, that even the Washington Post had to confess that the Affordable Care Act was never actually affordable. And they knew it at the time at the Washington Post, and they lied to us about it. I knew it at the time, and I told you the truth about it. It's crazy out there, isn't it? Now, just ridiculous. And the Democrat Party, they're at civil war with themselves. Let's go to this. Last night, Democrat Congressman from California, Ro Khanna, was on the Fox News channel with Laura Ingraham, and they're saying, Chuck Schumer, oh no, the bill got out of the Senate. The Democrats need to chop the head off of Chuck Schumer, who still has a head that could replace Chuck Schumer as the Democrat crook in the Senate.
Congressman, who should replace Schumer as leader, or a couple of options?
As leader, look, I think there's Chris Murphy, there's Van Hollen, there's Elizabeth Warren, there's Amy Klobuchar. There are a lot of people who can, Cory Booker. But my view is that it should be someone new. Schumer has been there for so many years, and he was effective in the Biden administration. I just don't think that that's the look for the future of the party.
The look. That's anti-Semitism, if I've ever heard of that, clearly. And Ro Khanna, let's give it to Elizabeth Warren. She could be the head of the Native American Affairs Committee. And Klobuchar, yeah, she's going to be the leader because of genitalia. Chris Van Hollen, he loves MS-13. He travels to Central America to dine and drink with Latin American gang members who beat their baby mamas to a bloody pulp. And he's okay, so he's definitely leadership material in the Democrat Party. Isn't that amazing? The Democrats so crazy. On MS-13 DNC, they've got this woman, Katie Turd. Her father is transgender, by the way. Her father is transgender man. Says he's a lady. Used to be a news reporter in Los Angeles. And Katie Turd was on there and say, oh, no, Chuck Schumer let the bill leave the Senate and go to the House so we could reopen the government. That's the end of the Democrat Party.
Seems like this is ripping the party apart at a time where it felt like the party was coming back together post-elections. How do you convince your fellow Democrats to stay together on this? And how do you convince voters across the country to believe in the Democrats again?
Can I just say,
go ahead.
Can I just say, ripping the party apart? I think you're over-dramatizing this. It's
a crooked Democrat Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. He was the man they chose to be vice president at one point because they have no one to choose from. And honestly, Elizabeth Warren's going to take over the, is that right? The MS-13 loving Chris Van Hollen is going to take over. Amy Klobuchar. You guys are doomed. You're going the way of the Bull Moose Party, the Know Nothing Party. They should just seize the Know Nothing name again because it worked very well for them. And that was, Katie Tur. decides she wants to read quotes of Democrats who are saying, oh, the Democrat Party's in such trouble. And Senator Tim Kaine is there, and he really doesn't want to hear any of it, like a teenage girl.
I mean, I know the news business is to try to make everything like the biggest crisis since
let me hold on. Don't say it's me.
There's differences of opinion.
I will quote your fellow Democrats. Gavin Newsom calls it pathetic. Hakeem Jeffries, complete BS. AOC says this is not about a base of voters. This is about
Katie,
about people's lives. Katie, Murphy says it makes Donald Trump stronger. This is a moment that demands fighters, not folders. Yeah. I mean, this is me quoting Democrats. I'm not making things up.
Right.
You know, it's reading what people are saying and reporting it.
He's a rude, ungentlemanly, impolite Democrat member of the United States Senate, once considered to be the greatest deliberative body on the planet Earth. Now a burning clown car. But never mind that. They've got this other left-wing radical by the name of Ezra Levin. And he was one of the organizers of the communist No Kings protests across the country. And then they passed their congressional seats down to their daughters and their sons like they're the royal families of Europe. But never mind that. This Ezra Levin, I think it's Levin, but not Levin, whatever it is. He's the organizer of the No Kings thing. He's with a radical left-wing group called Indivisible. And he's announcing that because Democrats voted to reopen the government, they're going to primary everybody, spend millions of dollars to have everybody kicked out of Congress because they wanted to open the government. Here is Ezra Levin.
If there's a silver lining to all this, it's that this capitulation was so complete that it will be impossible to hide. Everybody can see that the party is not up to the task now. And so we should be asking every single Senate Democratic candidate, are you supporting Chuck Schumer for leadership? And if you are, you don't got my vote. You don't get my donation. You don't get my support. You don't get my attention. We're launching the largest primary program in the history of Indivisible. And it's going to be focused not on ideology, but on building a Democratic Party that fights back.
That's ideology. They use the words, but they don't know what they mean. That is ideology. And the idiot sitting there nodding in agreement because they're all, in an oil-filled hot tub together, and they're all low IQ. Just amazing. Just blame the other guy. Just blame somebody else. And we're indivisible with the No Kings. Remember the media said they had 7 million or 17 million or something. They just make stuff up out of thin air, and the media faithfully parrot whatever it is that the left tells them to do. Some left-wing group called Indivisible, which divides. That's their mission in life. All right, now let's get the idiot Democrats. It looks like the Democrat Party is imploding, being sucked into a crater, and they'll spit on each other down there. Isn't that amazing? Just great. All right, now let's go, because the Democrats are so crazy. Let's go to Joe Rogan. I talked about this Joe Rogan moment on his podcast where he was talking about Democrats celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, a 31-year-old father of two and husband, a Christian, a pro-American activist. And the podcaster Joe Rogan warned that regular people, those are Democrats, not regular people, cheering the murder, the assassination of Charlie Kirk indicates a dangerous political divide. Oh, you think so? I think so, too. Joe Rogan on his world-renowned podcast, maybe the most popular podcast on earth, and Joe Rogan talking about the Democrats celebrating the murder, the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk gets shot, and people are celebrating. Like, whoa. You want people to die that you disagree with? Like,
they do.
Where are we right now on the scale of 1 to Civil War? Where are we? Are we at 7? Because I thought we were at 5. I thought we were like 4 or 5. But after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, oh, we might be like 7. This might be like step 7 on the way to a bona fide civil war.
To bona fide civil war. I have been talking about this for a couple of years, watching the Democrats galloping toward more and more political violence, mob violence. They shot Donald Trump through the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania. And I told you I was at a tavern, a bar, open-air bar, down by the river in Washington, D.C. when that happened. And the Democrat sitting next to us was angry and disappointed. Said, well, it looks like he's going to be okay. When the former president and future president of the United States was shot by an assassin through the ear, missing the assassination, the Zapruder film, by this much, holding my right index finger 1 inch over my right thumb. But Joe Rogan talking about this and saying it's, about on a 7 scale of 7, 1 to 10, 10 is all-out civil war. Are we at a 7 now? And Joe Rogan was talking about this.
As soon as you start regular people celebrating somebody getting murdered in front of their wife and kid on television in front of the whole world, as soon as you celebrate that, man, you're in dark territory.
Yeah, well, the Democrat Party is the left. They're not liberals. Make no mistake about that. And he said, I thought we were at a 4 or a 5. And he said, are we at a 7? Because I thought we were at a 5. I thought we were like a 4 or a 5. And Tuesday's episode of the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday. But I think after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, we might be like 7. This might be like a step 7 on the way to a bona fide civil war. The Democrat Party is violent. They are the party of the first American Civil War, too, by the way. Firing on Fort Sumter. They wanted to keep their slaves and all of that. Isn't that amazing? Yes, it is. Let's go to number 21. Number 21. The actress Cheryl Hines. She was on that Curb Your Enthusiasm show. She played the role of Larry David's wife in Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is a funny show. I think he's funny. He's a radical lefty, of course. And she is a giant-time liberal Democrat activist, always has been. And now she's actually married to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is now in the Trump administration trying to make America healthy again. The Democrats want everyone to die because they're the left. But Cheryl Hines was on the television with Bill Maher on his multi-million-dollar, they pay him multi-million-dollars a year to be a Democrat Party propagandist. Cheryl Hines, longtime, lifelong Democrat Party, and, fine, she's an actress, Hollywood, California, whatever. Fine, all fine with me. But she's on with Bill Maher, and they're both kind of agreeing that, and her husband, Bobby, she calls him Bobby, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and all this. The Democrats are getting difficult. Both of them agreed.
The Republicans have been very kind to me from the beginning. Even from the beginning when Bobby was running as a Democrat, they weren't mean.
No.
And they never have been.
No.
And I can't say that for the Democrats.
I agree.
And it's
sad because it's not the Democrats we grew up with.
Right. Yeah.
No kidding.
That's the difference that people don't, I think, see. They're like, why did you turn on the Democrats? Well, first of all, I didn't. Like I said, we voted for the same person. But I'm not going to pretend I don't notice how different they are.
Yeah.
How mean they've become.
Very mean.
Very mean. They both voted for Miss 3D Chess. Are you kidding me? Kamala Harris, you're so proud to vote for that turnip. Bill Maher, he eventually, everybody gives him way too much credit for occasionally acknowledging what is glaringly obvious to anyone with two brain cells to rub together.
I hope to have dinner with him again, and, he definitely doesn't like it when you critique him and thinks you're being unfair.
With Trump.
But he is willing to listen.
Yeah.
And if he totally is not, because I, had dinner with him and then didn't become a Trumpist, he will yell at me, but does not want to cut me off. He does not want to cut me off, which is something I cannot say about the left.
They're starting to come to realize what has been glaringly obvious to all of you and to me and to us here for years on end. These are not intelligent people, not smart people. They're catching up. And what's her name? Cheryl Hines seems perfectly nice. And Bill Maher, I could care less about. But I couldn't care less about. Let me clarify. I always get corrected on that. I couldn't care less about. It's just a turn of phrase. Isn't that great? You know that the big wireless companies have been pulling one over on us all for a long time, and it's time to make the switch to consumer cellular. Listen, I did, and I get the same fast, reliable, nationwide wireless coverage without the big wireless cost every month. And it may not just be about saving money every month, although that's real good. It's also about not being used and abused by my own cell phone company. Do you have any idea how much data you might use every month? I have no idea how much I use. Most people over the age of 50 use less than 8 gigs of data in any given month. But big wireless companies that you likely have right now, they shove all of us into an unlimited data plan because they need you to cover the cost of 12-year-olds that use 10 times as much data as you use. And if you're not using all that data, then bad news is you're the one being used and abused. It's like high school. Had enough of that? Go to Consumer Cellular. They set me up with a service and a phone. Great camera, too. Easy to make the switch. You call, you speak to an actual human being on the phone. It's not a touchpad. That person is based right here in the United States of America, not in the Philippines. Real human beings who are actually helpful. It'll only take you about 20 minutes to make the switch. So give them a call today. You'll be happy you did. Call them at 800-760-0702. That's 800-760-0702. Yes. Yeah, good stuff. And Bill Maher is great. Wow, what a statesman. Really? And he's really, honestly, the obvious has usually eluded him over the years. Now, Jack Schlossberg, not the best name, Schlossberg, who is the grandson of John F. Kennedy, the President of the United States, shot in the head and killed by a communist, which is what a Democrat is today. And they're going around shooting people in the head, too. Jack Schlossberg, Kennedy heir, to seek Jerry Nadler's New York State congressional seat. Oh, no, I don't even have the time. I wanted to get to President Trump spraying Trump cologne on the Syrian president and asking him how many wives he has. Did you see this?
And then the other one is your wife. How many wives? Your wife. Because I never know, right?
Because I never know. How many wives do you have? And he sprayed Trump cologne on him and made him a gift of a bottle of Trump cologne. Very thoughtful.